You asked and we answered. Backed by popular demand, we have part 2 of Canva hacks with our amazing creative director, Abby Asensio. Abby is who I go to when we come up with ideas for the social media content, the brand, and she is just a queen when it comes to creating beautiful, gorgeous aesthetics on social media for graphics, you name it. And she has time-saving tips for you that you need to know about. And also a gift for you is below this video, the ultimate guide to nailing your niche, over 200 profitable ideas. All right, let's jump into Abby's Canva hacks.
Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel, or if you're new, welcome. Please let me know in the comments if you are new. We'd love to give you a shout out. My name is Abby Asensio and I am the creative director for The Gold Digger Girl. And today we are back for episode 2 of our new Canva series. And I am so excited about this series because I am obsessed with Canva. But before we get started, please make sure to go check out episode 1, which we will link down below, but please make sure to watch it because I share a lot of great tips on how you can use Canva to save time. All right, guys, let's jump right in. Did you know that you can generate Instagram carousels with Canva? You can, and all it takes is a few clicks and it'll do all the magic for you, and all you have to do is post. Okay, so first I opened up a window here, and this is the new size for an Instagram post. You're going to go to apps, and you're going to type in Carousel Studio, which it appears right here. You click on this one, the very first one that pops up. And then you have to fill out some of the things that it's asking you for. So the very first one is a prompt that you're going to fill in. Now, I already have one ready, which is going to be all about branding. Now, I do recommend that you post as many details as you can because it'll help Canva generate every single slide. So my prompt says Branding 101, how to create a magnetic online presence. Break it down into a beginner-friendly strategies covering personal branding, messaging, visuals, and audience connection. Include common branding mistakes to avoid, real-world examples of successful brands, and actionable tips for standing out in a crowded online space. Keep it engaging, easy to understand, and packed with value. All right. And in case you don't have a prompt, you can also click on Inspire Me. Before I click on Generate, I'm going to scroll down to answer the rest of the questions that it has. You can customize a few things. So for example, you can click on Theme and it'll give you different options. And you may want to test every single one of them out to see how each one looks. But let's just pick Peach Blossom for right now. And then heading fonts, you can pick your font, your branded fonts. And let's see, I'm going to choose a bold fonts because it's a header. And then the body fonts, actually that one sounds good. We'll keep that one as is. And then your colors, right? This is awesome because you can pick your brand colors. Let's see, I'm going to pick our pink and let's use the dark gray. And then author name. Let's just write in The Gold Digger Girl. Okay, now all we're going to do is click on Generate, give it a few seconds. It starts to generate, and it tells you right now it's slide 1 of 6. It starts to show up here, and as it generates each page, it'll pop up here, and it really only takes a matter of seconds. It does it all for you. It already created the cover. It gave it a design. Now, you can easily just go in here and change the pictures or maybe change a few things around if you want to change the colors because maybe you want the background to be white and the letters to be pink or your own brand colors. Here, the same thing with the designs that they give you. You can just move things around, but it's easier to create a carousel working off of something that has generated within seconds rather than starting from scratch, right? It saves you a lot of time. And look at that. It even gives you a last slide with a CTA. And again, you can just insert anything that you want to include for your CTA, and then you're done. Download and post. And this took me a matter of a few minutes. So for our next tip, this is one that I am absolutely over the moon that it has been included. And it is adding page numbers to each graphic that you create, to each page. Now, let me show you what I used to do, okay? And you might be able to relate to this. So I would go to a workbook now this is a 50-page workbook, okay? And I would add a text and I would put it all the way in the corner and I would add this would be page 2, right? And I would put it here where I wanted it to pop up. I would obviously choose the size, choose the font, the color, everything. And once I had it, I would copy it and I would go to the next page. I would paste it. I would change the 2 to say 3. And then I would go to the next page. I would paste it again and change the 2 to say 4. And as you can imagine, this was very time consuming. Okay. And then, you know what would be very, very frustrating if I was to accidentally skip a number, right? Because we make mistakes. And now, if I skip the letter 5 or the letter 20 and it's a 50-page workbook, now I have to go back and fix all of the rest of the numbers, right? Because now they're out of sync. So yes, that used to happen to me a lot. So Canva finally came out with Page Numbers, this app, which is, like I said, it was music to my ears. Okay, so I'm going to erase what I just did, and I'm going to show you the beautiful things that this new app does. Okay, so let me erase this one. Okay, so now we are going to click on page numbers. So to get to page numbers, I'm so sorry about that. So we're going to click on text. Once you click on text, so if let's say we're in brand, once we click on text, it shows up automatically under here by dynamic text. You're going to click on this and it automatically added a box already right here, which it's not inside of the page, but just so you know, it already popped up here. So what do you want to do? Format, you want the numbers only? Do you want the page plus the number? Or do you want it to say page 2 of 50, page 3 of 50, whichever one you'd like? So let's just do page of number, because like I said, that was the one I used to do a lot. Do you want this number to show on all of them? Now, that's the beautiful thing about it. You can choose the picture, or you can choose the pages that you want to include the number on. Now, we don't want it on all of them, or I only want it on I don't want it on page 1. Okay, let's just do that for now. So even though you are clicking off 1, it doesn't take everything else out of sync. So number 2 still stays number 2. It doesn't become, 1 or 3. It stays 2. Let's see. It just skips a number. So then you want to apply properties. So it does. As you're making these changes here, it applies the changes here. Now, this is obviously way too big. Plus, I don't want it to be cursive like that. So I'm going to start making it small, how I want it. Let me change the font to something more easier to understand, to read, especially if you're going to get if you're going to choose a cursive font and it's going to be that small, it's going to be extremely hard for people to be able to see. So I'm just going to leave it like that. And if you want to change the bold, or you want to change the color, it's up to you. I'm going to go back to the page number, and here, the changes that I made to this one page, I'm just going to apply to all. And if you scroll down, it made it to all. It literally updated every single picture that we have on here, every single page. Okay, no more messing up, or if you skip the number. Now, usually I don't add a number to our chapter covers, so I can always go in here and let them know, uncheck those. So I'm gonna uncheck number 1, uncheck number 4, all of the covers. And I'll show you. I'll do a few just to show you, and I'm going to click on done. So see, now it has the number 6 here. 7 is gone, but 8 is right here. 9 is gone, but 10 is right here. Isn't that beautiful? So if you make any changes here, you can always apply, and it moves it to on the other pages. I'm telling you, this was life-changing for me. All right, let's go on to the next tip. Okay, so for this next tip, it's a very small, quick one, but I still wanted to share with you because I think it'll be very helpful, especially if you work with a team, if you have a graphic design team, or if you work with a virtual assistant. This is going to come in handy. Now, I am going to use the same workbook that I used for my previous example. Now, for this tip, we are going to have to change it from this view to a thumbnail view, which is going to be at the bottom of the screen, and it looks like a little TV with 3 boxes at the bottom, and it's going to turn into the thumbnail view. Now you can see all of your pages at the bottom. And let's say that you're looking through your workbook and you find a mistake on page 8, for example. And, this workbook does consist of 50 pages. So when dealing with so many pages like this, it can get a bit confusing, especially if there are multiple people editing and just coming in here to make changes and work on it, add, delete, add anything. So if you want something changed to this specific page, like I said, it's something small, but it has been very helpful, especially between me and our design team. So if I want them to change something on this specific page, I'm going to make sure that I highlight number 8. I'm going to click on the 3 dots, and I'm going to go to copy link to this specific page, because before, if you were to share with anybody, right, and say, hey, can you make changes to page number 8 or whatever it may be, I would go here to share, and I would click on either, click with the team or click with anybody, and I would copy the link from here, right? But no, if you just want to share this specific page, like I said, go into thumbnail view, click on the page, click on the 3 dots, and copy the link to this page. So now I can easily send an email, paste the link to this page, and say, hey, can you please make the following changes to this page? And this person will open that link and know that it's going to take them directly there. So if we were to open up another box and paste this, that page 8 should be the only one that pops up. And there you go, page 8. It goes directly to page 8. Now, they are able to see the rest, but they know that their focus is page 8. Like I said, small, but very helpful. Now, for this next tip, it's going to be all about mockups. Now, I pulled this graphic from Pinterest, but Canva also offers similar pictures like this, just, but I purposely pulled this one from Pinterest because I wanted to show you how much you're able to get out of this feature. It's amazing. Okay, so let's say that you find this image on Pinterest and you're like, I love it. It goes with my brand. It's pink. It's a desk. It's the vibe that you're looking for, right? But you want to insert your own picture, right? So this is what you're going to do. You're going to highlight this. Then you're going to go to apps and you're going to search for mockups. It's right here. And it looks like this. Click on this. And as you can see here, it gives you a lot of different mockups that are pretty much ready to go. All you have to do is insert your picture. But like I said, sometimes you might see something on Pinterest and it would go better with your brand. It fits the vibe, right? None of these do. It's okay. So you're going to click on create a mockup template. And because you had already selected this image, it's generating it right now, and give it a few seconds and it's going to pop up a few options for you to choose from. There you go. So this is what it pulled up. Also, obviously some of these are not okay to pick, like this one, and you don't want to change the picture for the notebook down here, but these two look pretty good. It captured the screen on the laptop. So you're going to click on this one, make sure it's highlighted, and then confirm. Give it a few seconds, and now you're able to just insert your picture. So let's go to upload and insert our picture. And there you go. Now, as you can see, my face is getting cut off right there. So it's an easy fix, especially because if you look on this side, you can still see the previous text, right? We don't want that. So we're going to double click on the image. This left menu is going to come up. You're going to drag it over just a little bit, but it also gives you other options. You can fill it in. You can make it fit, smart crop. It gives you other options, alignment and flip, which are pretty cool. But I think all we have to do for this one is move it over just a little bit. So we're going to apply changes and see if that covers up the text. Perfect. It does. Now here, it's kind of covering up the text for the title of this video. But again, you can kind of play with it. The point is that this is a beautiful option now because you can go to Pinterest, which offers millions of pictures, and you can turn any of those pictures into a mock-up. And there you go. Isn't it beautiful? Now for this next tip, it is very similar to the one that I just showed you, But the reason why I wanted to show you this one too is because if you remember, when we were transitioning this image to become a mockup for us, it gave us 4 options. Now we got lucky because two of those options were very good. They were right on the screen and nothing was getting cut off. But if you look at these other 2 options, they were very bad. Now, sometimes when you're pulling an image from Pinterest, it can generate all 4 images very bad. So you may not have a good option. And no matter how many times you generate and try to fix it, it's going to give you the same bad options. So this is going to be an alternative feature for you to use. And like, it's a bit trickier, but it can still be useful. Now, let me go to this image. I'm going to highlight it. We're going to go to apps. We're going to go to reshape. And it's going to be this one. And here it gives you 4 different options for you to choose from. Now, you can choose, I'm going to highlight the picture that I want to insert in here. Now, here, it would be easy to just make smaller and try to make it fit yourself. But even if you were trying to make it fit yourself, it's still not going to look okay, because if you make it small here, it's getting cut off here, it's getting cut off there. It's not working, right? So I'm going to click on this one and I'm going to click on perspective. Now, this is where I said that it becomes a little trickier because you kind of have to play around with it to, first of all, to get comfortable and to know what happens when you pull on these. So you see all those dots? These are the dots that you have to pull on to take it wherever you want to go, right? Now, here, I'm trying to take it to this corner, but it's not letting me. So I'm going to click out of it. So all I did was, we were right here. All I did was click somewhere here, and I'm going to make this bigger. Then we're going to click on perspective. I'm going to grab this circle and I'm going to pull it to this corner. I'm going to grab this other one, pull it to that corner. And when I move this one, it moves this circle as well, as you can see. But I'll show you what to do. Like I said, it's a little trickier, but you just have to kind of play around with it. So right here, we're kind of getting closer, right? We're inside of the screen at least. So now let's click on distort. And now let's grab this circle and pull it out. Let's see. Let's grab this circle and put it to the corner as much as we can. Let's do the same to this one. Let's do the same to this one. And now before I click out, I'm going to click on save just to see how it looks so far. Okay, so these 2 corners look great. This one looks great. I think this one is definitely standing out too much. So I'm going to highlight this again and let me click on perspective and try to pull that corner in a little bit more. And I think we're there. Let's see. Now remember, what you do to the bottom one, it does to the top. So let's try distort. Okay, so we pulled that one a little bit in. Perfect. Let's see. Let's pull this one up a little bit. And let's click on save. Let's see what happens there. It's definitely much better. Now here, I think it looks good to go. If you move this one, it's gonna be out of sync. So I would recommend to immediately highlight both and group them together. So again, this is another feature that you can use, especially if the first one doesn't work and the 4 options that it's giving you don't look right. You still have another way to make it happen.
Hey, Goal Digger, I want to let you know we have a brand new boot camp coming up. It is Brand Like a Boss. I'm going to teach you in 9 days what it took me over a decade to learn as I built this company to a $10 million company. And we've done all of it through social media. So we're going to teach you how to build out your personal brand, how to develop your content pillars, how to really target your audience with your messaging, generating leads from your content, and closing sales in the DM. So inside of this boot camp, we're going to teach you that and more. You're going to have access to the replays during the 9 days. You're going to get a workbook. We're going to have bonus training, all the things and more. So click the button below this video to register, and I'll see you there.
Okay, for our next tip, this one, I wish I knew about this one years ago. But okay, so I picked 2 pictures again from Pinterest. I pull a lot of images from Pinterest, to be honest. So I pulled 2 aesthetic pictures, and then I pulled one of Kimberly, right? Now, if you're familiar with our brand is very pink, like a dark gray, but it's a very soft, classy color. I like to describe it as. So none of these fit those, right? This is a great picture of her, but I feel like the blue, I wouldn't be able to post this picture on our Instagram because it's very pink, like I said, very light colors. And the blue is just not working for us, right? So what do? There's a way to fix this. So you're going to highlight the image. You're going to click on edit. You're going to go to adjust. You're going to go all the way down. And here it pulls up the picture, right, that we have highlighted. And it gives you the options of these 3 colors that you're able to change. And it is letting me change the blue, which is amazing. Sometimes it doesn't let me change the color of the object or the section that I want to change, but this one is so amazing. So I'm going to click on the blue, and here is where I can start moving around these options right here to make it the color that I want. Look at that. They're now purple, blue, green. Like, you can change the color of her blue pants. And now I have better chances of being able to match it to our brand, right? So now let me show you the same thing with this one. Let's say you want to put this image in one of your workbooks, or if you want to post it on Instagram, or if you want to post it in your stories, add a few tips on top of it. But again, it doesn't fit your brand. You're going to highlight it, and you're going to go to edit. You're going to go to adjust. You're going to scroll down. And you're going to pick the lilac color that you're not liking, right? And again, you're just going to click on that one and then start dragging this back and forth. And it's going to change everything that's in lilac. So it's not just going to change the book, it's also going to change the little flowers. So if I was to change it to this pink, I can totally post this on Instagram because now it's matching our vibe. It's definitely matching our brand. Let's do these books just for fun. Okay, so all I did was highlight this. It was already on adjust, but I'll go over it again. You click on edit, you go to adjust, you go all the way down, and let's do this turquoise. Let's see. You're going to highlight it, start dragging, and there you go. If your brand is purple, green, look at that. And again, there are more options here that you can start playing with the brightness. You can start playing with the saturation. So there are other ways to turn this image into what you want. So you don't have to spend time looking for that perfect color on Pinterest. You can turn it into the perfect color for you. Okay, so for our next tip, again, I grabbed these from Pinterest, and let's say that you love these images and you want to turn them into something you can post on your website or your workbook. But you're like, you know what, Dior, that's not really going for you. You know, your brand doesn't have anything to do with style or fashion or anything like that. So you want to get rid of these words, right? So you're going to highlight this. You're going to go to edit, and you're going to click on magic eraser. Okay. Then you're going to pick the size of your brush, which in this case, I'm going to make it a little bigger because the words are big here. And I'm just going to hover over and drag the section that I want to erase, the words. And then I'm going to make it a little bit smaller because I want to get rid of this part too. I believe that's the author name. So once I have those two highlighted, I'm going to erase it. And there you go. Now you can even add words that you want to put on there, whether it's like maybe a quote or anything else, the date, the year. So you go back and there you go. Let's do the same thing for this image. Again, it goes with your vibe. It's perfect. You want to post this along with a quote or a few tips. You're going to highlight this. You're going to go to edit. You're going to click on magic eraser. And let's say that you don't like the words. So I'm going to make this bigger just because I wanted to erase all of this. And then let's just say that not only do you not like the words, but maybe let's say you don't like this. I believe it's a candle because you're not, silver isn't your vibe. Maybe your vibe goes more with gold, right? So let me make that a little bit smaller. The reason why I'm making sure that this circle covers up that object is because I only wanted to erase that object. If I was to make this bigger and keep it the same size as this, and I go here, it's not just going to erase that candle. It's also going to erase some of the pens, some of the corner of the screen, and we don't want that. So that's why you have to just be as precise as you can. I think that should be good. So I'm just going to click on it once, and it made the circle. And then I'm going to click on erase. And there you go. It's not there. Now you can see somewhat of a shadow here, but it doesn't really stand out enough where somebody's going to be like, I wonder why that shadow is there. You know what I mean? So I don't think it's such a big deal. But there you go. It erased the writing on the screen. You can add your own quote or maybe the name of your brand on there. And there you go. You just turned it into something that you can use on your Instagram, on your website, anything, on one of your workbooks, anywhere. And we'll do this last example. We're going to highlight it, magic erase, and let's say Chloe Catwalk. That just doesn't go with you at all. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. And I'm going to erase Catwalk and that little logo right there. Okay. Erase. This is a beautiful, see, there you go. This is a beautiful option. I love it. So for this last tip, now, if you are part of our Gold Digging Boss Babes Facebook group, you will see that this is our cover for the Facebook group. And if you're not in that group, I will link it down below. Please join us. Okay, so if you take a look at this cover, a lot of people came to me and said, how did you do this? How were you able to get the circle and for Allison, for all of you guys to pop out of the circle, pop out of the frame? And that's exactly what I'm going to show you right now because I think it looks pretty cool. Okay, so I'm going to choose a photo and let's get rid of this one. And I'm going to make a copy of it. Then I'm going to go to elements. I'm going to go to frames and let's choose a circle one for now. Let's move this one over. And now we're going to grab this one and insert this into the frame. I'm going to pull it out as much. I actually want to make it bigger. So let's do that right there. I want to make it even bigger than this. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to place it there because I also want this amount to be out of the circle. Okay. Next, I'm going to remove the background, highlight this picture, click on remove, and I'm going to hover over it. But if you notice, once I hover it over, it inserts itself into the picture. It like sucks it in, right? And we don't want to do that. So I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to get rid of all of this extra space. I like to do that a lot. Okay. So instead of you just dragging it over and for it to get sucked in there, if you press on the control key and don't let go and drag it, you're able to do it without it sucking it in, which isn't that amazing? I love that little trick. Okay. So when I did that, as you can tell, it was behind the picture. We don't want it to be behind the picture. We want it to be on top of the picture. So I'm going to make sure that I move this over just a little bit so it could be touching the circle. And then I'm going to right click on layer, and I'm going to bring it to the front. Okay. Now if we do this again, it'll suck it in. We don't want that. So I'm going to click on the control key, and now I'm going to place it on top of where I want it. Sorry, I let go of the control key too fast. Okay. So now we got to make it as big as the one that's behind it, right? To make it match. Now, let me get rid of a lot of this space. I want to make sure it's big enough. Okay, so I'm going to hit the control key and I'm going to place it here. I'm going to try to make it sure it matches. I almost got it. Now, just to make sure that it does match, I like to click on transparency and kind of lower it a little bit just so that I'm able to see the picture behind it. And now I'm able to match it. So with the keyboard, I'm just going to click on the left button just to kind of move her over. And I think we got it. I actually got the size. I think it all matches because we don't want it to look this way where, you know, it's not matching her eyes. It's not matching. It just looks out of sync, right? So we want to make sure it's as much in sync as possible. So I think that's pretty good. Now I'm going to go back here to transparency and go to 100. Now it's popping out right here on the top, which is perfect. That's what we wanted. But now what do we do to the bottom? We're going to highlight this image and we're going to grab this and just drag it to the middle. Well, not the middle, but at least above where the circle ends. So if I was to leave it here, you can still see it. So we want it above inside of the circle. And that is why it's important for you to make sure it syncs with your bottom picture, because here you can't even tell that it's a double image. Okay. And there you have it. Okay. So you can do the exact same thing with a different frame. Let's see. Let's do the same thing with this one. And let's detach this picture. Let's put it in there. Let's place it wherever we want, which I think that should be good right there. We're going to get rid of this circle. And now we'll need to right click on this image to put it toward the front. And it's going to have to be a lot smaller. Let's see. I'm going to hit on the control key and try to match it here, which it's very out of sync. Be careful with that control key, because if you let it go too soon, it'll ruin your design. Okay, so I'm going to make this transparency a lot lighter so that it can help me know how small I have to make this. Let's see. I'm just going to start dragging, and I think that's pretty good right there, actually. Yeah. Okay, so then I'm going to put this back to 100. And there you go. Now you can get creative with all of these different shapes and make that pop out of the frame. And again, this just makes it look better. It makes it look more creative, more fun. It's eye-catching. All right, guys, there you have it. So if you have any questions about anything that I just showed you inside of this video, please drop them down below. But I also wanted to let you know, if you have any questions about Canva in general, anything that you're struggling with, anything that you're confused with, please drop those questions down below, because I would like to cover those in our next episode, right? Which is going to be episode 3 of our Canva series. All right, guys. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you found these tips helpful. And don't forget, we post a new video every single Wednesday and Friday. All right, guys. See you soon. Bye.
As you can see, Goal Digger, Abby is the queen of Canva, and now you can be as well. So if this was helpful, let's give her some love. Go ahead and take a screenshot, share this in your stories, tag Abby as well, Goal Digger Abby, and subscribe to this video. Make sure that you hit that button and subscribe so you don't miss our future tutorials. There are other ones on the channel as well. So click the videos tab or our playlist below. You're going to see that we have trainings on Trello. We have trainings on landing pages. We have all kinds of how-to videos right here for you. Thank you so much for watching. Again, the ultimate guide to nailing your niche is below. Click that button to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.